Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Indie Credible Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Xander Scullion, and joined with me is Jeffrey Wittenhagen.
Hello, everyone.
So
Interesting, very serious intro.
that is a very serious intro. So before I started this show, I was telling you something, Jeff, and you're like, "This would be good for the podcast." Well, I went to a
You're
barcade.
welcome, listeners. You're welcome.
I went to a barcade last night called Rally Point. It's like a two-story barcade. It's not big, but it's cool. I went with a coworker of mine, and the first floor I refer to it as like the adult Chuck E. Cheese. It had like the skee ball, air hockey, a couple of pinball machines, but upstairs was like the retro lounge, and that's the one that had like actual old school retro arcade games. And it was really, really cool. Like they had Street Fighter 2, which is automatically cool in my book. I played Mortal Kombat 4 and accidentally picked Tanya, and I never played as Tanya, but I ended up playing like 4 rounds, and it was getting to the point where my my friend was just getting bored, and I'm like, dude, I'm just gonna stop playing because I was just going through it. I was gonna probably beat the game. But yeah, it was really cool. It was a really cool like little scene. I'm not really a downtown kind of guy. So I was like, if we're gonna hang out, we're gonna play arcade games. And I took him to one of my favorite like hole in the wall bars and got him a glass of mead. So I'm like, we gotta get some mead. So
Oh, and your friend needs to get his shit together because you can't get bored at an arcade. Just go play another game, dude. Go
we
play the
did
arcade next to you. Like, why you let you beat fucking Mortal Kombat, guy?
we
Like,
did
jeez.
we did play the Walking Dead like light gun game. That was pretty dope. And we played they had the Mario Kart GP, we played the Mario Kart, and they had some Aliens 3 light gun game that was just complete chaos. That I didn't like it because the reload was like underneath the trigger, but it doesn't really you don't really see it too well. There's like a button for the grenades at the very tip of the rifle, and then right up below the trigger is the reload. And the first time we had to reload, we're like, how do we fucking reload? What are we supposed to do? But it was a fun game. Good stuff.
That's funny as shit, dude. Yeah, I'm getting near the end of the course here at the Sergeant Major Academy. So I did another briefing talking about Disney and how they need to pay workers better.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, man, found solutions for them, even though they'll never see them. And then I have a paper deal, which fixing American Airlines this time.
Oh wow.
And all the delays based on not being able to schedule their crew properly to do maintenance. So
Hmm.
yeah, I'm gonna write a paper on that. Yay. After that crap, like I am done writing, hopefully forever, and I can just focus on books, cool books.
Yeah.
And I told you before the podcast, I've been working on some canvas projects, and we got some giant canvases in. So I'm working on a contra piece, and then I didn't tell you, but the one I'm working on next is Punch Out, Mike Tyson's Punch Out.
Oh nice.
Yeah, so him uppercutting bald bull in the face. So basically right now, because I have a laser etcher and all that stuff, it's doing all my outlines, and then I'm going to hand paint it all after I have my outline with what I'm going to paint. So I'm doing it all by hand, so it's fun as shit. But yeah.
Yeah, you showed me behind the scenes, you showed me your like little quaint collection.
Dude,
I
I
say
got so many.
I
It's
say
crazy.
I say quaint very, very like jokingly because man, you found a new hobby. That's the wonderful thing about it is, and the cool thing is you found a new hobby and a hobby that you can share amongst others because it's part of some of the Patreons and some of the cool stuff that you have going on. Besides the podcast. So
Yeah, the last quarterly for the producers and above, I did send out a bunch of different treats. Outside of the Indie Credible podcast slate coaster. I have one, you have one. Shut off last episode. But outside of that, I sent them a bunch of treats. But I'm doing canvases like different ways. So I have these smaller canvases that I'm just printing onto that I'm going to paint the actual canvas. And then I have others where I'm just painting the background of the art, and then I'm doing the wooden pixel arts onto it to get it 3D. And then I have these giant ones. So there's like a couple different ways I'm trying it out, and I'm doing it all for me. But as I go to conventions, which we'll be announcing when I have the schedule when they're coming up within like the next month or so, um, I will bring some with, and if they sell, I'll make another one because they're for me. So I'm like, I want them in my collection, and so yeah, I'm working on a Bowser one from Super Mario RPG, little pixel guy. And as I'm painting it, because you thing is like you're doing individual colors, and so I'm doing like all the yellows or all the next shade of yellow, and the next, and afterward I'm like, oh yeah, it looks cool. And then I put it down, and I come back into the room, like, holy shit, it's 3D. Like, because the
Yeah.
Super RPG stuff looks 3D, and I'm like, it looks badass. And I'm like, holy cow! So that one's gonna be super impressive when I finish it. It takes a long time to do those highly colorful 16-bit ones. The NES ones are a lot more fun because I can do them quickly because it's only a few colors because you can do a few colors pretty fast. But yeah, but the canvas ones, they're huge. That's gonna take a while, and I'm gonna have to like get some paints and stuff because like I did a little pattern behind the Super Metroid one that I did because I did a Super Metroid, but I did like the outside picture art like I just did a solid color, but I did some designs in there, so it actually looks kind of like warped and weird and cool.
It's cool. And it's
But that wasn't the only thing I did this week, Xander. Besides for playing a couple indie games, I actually was messing around with the Odin Pro, the Ayn Odin Pro, whatever it's called. And I actually got this thing off of Indiegogo 2, 3 years ago, man. I don't know if you've heard of the Ayn Odin Pro.
I've heard of it. I've never actually like messed with one, but it's pretty much like a portable PC, right?
Yeah,
Like the
it's
Windows.
this.
Yeah.
It's this. So it is a Switch looking thing. So it's almost like a Switch Lite. This is the Odin Pro. There's a Odin 2 that's been out for a minute now too. So I think that they released the Odin 2 about a year ago or so. And that's what they do with these handhelds is they continually upgrade and make them better. Um, they have like the little clicky back, little shortcut buttons. But I can load this with all the stuff, just like a mini PC or whatever. And it is Linux based. So it's not Windows, it's not Android, whatever. Android is Linux based. But essentially what on here you could throw on your little apps from the Play Store. And I use this is strictly for streaming off of Xbox Game Pass,
Oh,
and it's
nice.
perfect. It's great. So I don't actually use because they just updated in this last week while I was tinkering. They updated the Xbox app to using just an Xbox app, and then it stopped working right like how I wanted it to because that was like streaming from my PC, like my
Right.
Xbox, like the stuff was on my PC, like, and then I would stream it to this, and it was like a little laggy. But there's this thing called Better xCloud, and it connects to my Xbox Game Pass. It does the cloud-based ones, so it's off of Xbox Game Pass, and it plays great. No issues at all.
Wow.
And then there's a Steam Link one as well that allows me to do stuff from Steam. Like they actually just, and that one does connect to my computer. What's cool is that the ones that are connected to my computer, if it's loading an exe file, pops it up. If I have the little mod thing open on my computer, it'll load the mods too. So if I want to do something crazy in it, I can mess with it too. So it's pretty cool. But if I'm gonna like play PC games, probably just gonna go grab my Legion Pro because
Yeah.
it's also portable. But this right here to stream off of, so if I play the new Oblivion remake, done. I can sit here, play it streamed, no problem, and play through a little bit. And I wasn't a super huge fan of how slow it is anymore because I haven't played it so long. It's so clunky, man. Like it's classic, but
Yeah.
I was just like, man, I am spoiled by Elden Ring.
Yeah. Or even like going from Skyrim to Oblivion, it's like night and day. Because sometime last year I went back to Skyrim and hadn't played it in like years. But before I went back to Skyrim, I did play Oblivion on the Xbox 360, and I'm like, this is terrible. I can't play this. Like it was just so bad. But I do want to try to remake or to remaster. I do want to try that. I don't want to pay $50 on it, so I might just pay for Game Pass, like a month of Game Pass, and just stream it like you're talking about. Just do it my way and just play it that way. Get my
And I was gonna say there is another game on Game Pass that everybody's been raving about. And so like because Oblivion obviously cool as hell, but the other one that people are talking about, let me see, what are they talking
is
about? 'Cause
it is it Blueprints? Because he's
yes,
dude, that I'm glad you brought that up because I was thinking about that the other day that this might be that indie game. Those indie games like Vampire Survivor, Shovel Knight, those indie games that really stick out because man, I had people saying this is going to be like their game of the year. I haven't
like,
played it yet.
and you said it's Blueprints because that actually wasn't the one I was talking
Yeah,
about.
Blueprints. And it's really Blueprints is really interesting. It's a point and click, which I'm not too fond of. That's why I haven't played it yet. But a lot of people are like, man, this kind of makes me think of like a horror-esque of like Mist. Like it makes them think of Mist in some ways. Uh,
Okay.
but
The
yeah.
the one I was talking about was Expedition 33.
Oh yes. I do want to play that. That's
I
up
just
my
clicked
alley.
on it and it just started loading off of Game Pass. So yeah, I don't want to do that right now. But like literally Expedition 33, apparently not indie like AAA, but it's supposed to be awesome. Blueprints though does look cool. I
Yeah.
think we talked about it last episode.
Yeah, it's on PlayStation Plus. I downloaded it. Friend of mine and one of our listeners, the last line, he's like level 43 or something, or I opened at the 43rd room or something last time I talked to him. And he was just like, dude, this game is gonna probably be my game of the year. Like it's breathtaking for him. So I do want to dive into it. And maybe we'll talk about it on the next episode. I plan on playing some video games after we record today. So I'll check it out because I do feel like it's one of those games that is like the next Belantro or Vampire Survivors, that indie game that sticks out that even makes folks that are not really into the indie world as much dive into it. And it's great. It's great seeing independent developers get that sort of recognition.
Yeah, I mean, I'll definitely check it out for sure. There's no harm in ever checking out a game, especially if it has a demo and check it out. But yeah, the Expedition 33, probably gonna try to fire that up too. But I mean, I'll be painting and listening to probably podcasts because I listen to podcasts while I paint. Very therapeutic. But if we're talking indie games, there was my indie randomizer game that I needed to play,
That's right.
and it's Archaeogem. Like I couldn't even spell it earlier. I was like, how the hell do I spell it? It's like archaeologem, but it is a precision platformer, and what it says is hats up and whips out. The wilderness mysteries await. Lush biomes, Xander, lush biomes. Uh, and you collect gems and you go through levels. So playing this though, it was super cool. Definitely vibes of, I mean, we know what Sydney Hunter is. A lot of listeners may not be
Mhm.
familiar with Sydney Hunter and Curse of the Mayan, but that's like a spiritual successor to like a Rick Dangerous style game. It's like in that zeitgeist where you're playing as Indiana Jones and you're going through a bunch of
Mhm.
caves and all the cool stuff. And Sydney Hunter's awesome, by the way.
So
But
good.
Archaeogem like takes that, doesn't really, it's not Metroidvania because it's like level by level almost,
Mhm.
but add in precision platforming from Celeste,
Ooh.
and that is what you got, and it is wild, it is fun. There's some good story in there too. So you're playing the first level you're going through, and you can randomly come across some hidden gems and stuff like that as you're going through, and using your whip, which your whip will allow you to like teleport, kind of like the Celeste teleport. And so your whip, you teleport, you jump through, you feel like a badass as you're playing. Then you end the level. And you're like, oh, cool. So it's going to be like one of those, like where it almost feels like it's going to be like little short portions. And I'm like, that'll be fun for short plays. I go to the second level, and it's like 30 minutes later, and I'm still playing the same level. So going through the
Oh
same,
man.
so it gets crazy really fast. still and it saves. So I'm still somewhere in that first. I did beat down with it. I'm like in that second level and just exploring everywhere. You get lost.
Yeah.
And sometimes I don't like getting lost, but like I'm Indiana Jones. I'm looking for cool stuff.
Yeah.
So I don't know if this is something where it's not super clear on how to progress because you got to kind of like maze your way through it. But then I'm also not like memorizing the levels. So it's a give or take. So if you like games that challenge you from a platform perspective, very satisfying to pull off, but doesn't hold your hand on where to go, this is the one. And then they still compartmentalize it out. So there's like a somewhat of a hub world. And so that could lead it into a Metroidvania, but it doesn't. But like you'll go back to like a house where your grandma, there's a granny there. I assume it's your grandma, and she's like, "Hey, I need to go you to go get a bouquet of flowers." So then you go to the spot where you can go, and I'm going all around, and then I found the flowers, and that was like the
Yeah.
first level. And then I came back and shit, oh, thank you. And then I go to the next area that's like opener that I can go to, and then I'm floating around. But that's all within this first world.
Wow.
It's not even because like it goes to a map. It went to a map after the first section. And so I'm like, this first world has a hub world. So
Mm.
it's like it's almost like its own game. Each one's like its own game. It's wild. It's hard to explain because they're doing some wild stuff here. And so this was one that popped up randomly on my deck for me to play. It's $10 and it's published and developed by Gaganef.
Mm.
But Gaganef has done some stuff. So let me see. Let me see if that is them. Yeah, so they have outside of Archaeogem, they released another game afterward called Rocket Rats. That's a survivor's light game. I'm not going to go into all of them, but
Yeah.
they did Doomed to Hell, which I actually did like. It's a roguelike top-down shooter. They released that one in 2022. I mean, there's quite a few games here, and there was a game called Gemini, an action tower defense game that I actually enjoyed a while ago. But this developer has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 games that he's developed,
Wow.
and they're all different types of genres. So, but yeah, I recommend everybody playing Archaeogem. It was a good one, perfect for the randomizer. And it was enjoyable. $10, not bad. Wait for it to go on sale. Use that from a few episodes ago, that Steam link that shows you how sad you are where you don't play. On that same site, it shows if the Steam game is the lowest it's ever been for a price.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, so you can find out, oh, it's on sale. Is this the lowest it's ever been? And that way it helps because what we're creating here, Xander, with the Incredible Podcast is infinite backlogs for people. So if we're playing infinite games, like if you really want to play this game, buy it, support the developer.
Yeah.
If you have 1,000 games in your backlog like we do, um, support the developer, but when you can, and from a wallet perspective, maybe do it reasonably.
Yeah.
Uh, so.
It's interesting because our podcast is like polar opposite of what's going on in gaming right now. Like I don't
100%.
yeah, because I don't pay attention to I have not really been paying attention to a lot of gaming news. But when I do go on, like everyone's like everything's so expensive. Xbox the Series X just went up like in price. I think it's almost like $900 in Canada right now, and everyone's just like, "Oh, gaming's just so expensive." And I'm like, "Yo, every week we're talking about games, and some of them are like $5. You know?
Other.
Yeah. And we're talking about
Okay.
games while we have other games in our queue that's currently being downloaded. I mean, there is no shortage of games, and not just Steam. You can also check out, Switch and PlayStation and Xbox and all that stuff. But the main thing is like we just have backlogs that we're just trying to share and try to have other people to have backlogs. I think that's the goal.
But even here live on the podcast, I could look at games that I just bought this week. That it shows new to library, and whether it's off of doing something like, and I haven't done it yet for the month of May, but it's doing the humble choice where you pay $12 and you get a bunch of AAA titles and indie games. And then I do gift codes for the ones that for the genres because I don't play like a lot of strategy and tactical. So I do gift codes. We could give away gift codes to the listeners.
Mm,
Like, so if you want gift codes, listeners, even Patrons, hit us up. I'll post them up and y'all can have them. Like, it is
yeah.
cool. But there are two games that I have not installed that I downloaded, which means I bought them and they were super cheap. One is called Blast Hopper. And so Blast Hopper is on there. I assume that I got it super cheap, I assume. But if I'm looking at it, is a 2D platform adventure game by Hardscape Games, released in March of 2025. And it has classic platforming mechanics, and that music's playing automatically off of my Steam Deck. And then the other one is Nucleus, Nucleuz Underground. And Nucleus Underground is another 2D platforming game. It says like planet is dying, team has been created to go underground. And that one was released in 2024. And so like I'm constantly getting games for like affordably because what I do, the secret that I use is, and Xander does it too, is we wish list everything that looks interesting. Constant wish list. So when we're doing these episodes, we're wish listing. I will search Metroidvania and wish list everything I didn't know about. And so when things are released, we see it. When things go on sale, we see it. When something pops up with a demo, I try to shoot Xander too. We try to play them.
Yeah.
But like we're using the system that Steam gives us in order to try to, more affordably game. And the hardware is the hardest to buy in for this. So
Yeah.
get a Steam Deck, or I bought this Iron thing years ago, and it still works fine. And so, like, you don't have to continually upgrade this hardware either until it becomes like unplayable, kind of like my stupid cheap tablet I got that we were talking about before the recording.
Yeah.
This cheap tablet that I use. I just want to view the show notes, and I can't.
Well, I mean, like, and I've seen games that we had talked about that I wish list that were on sale by the time we went to like the next couple episodes. I mean, as of recording now, this little throwback, and this offer ends on May 8th, so the offer is probably already going to be done by the time this recording comes up. But Hands of Necromancy 2, the like boomer shooter that we talked about, it's like $4.99. It's like $4.99 right now. But if it's not on sale, it's still like $9.99. Old school PC first person shooter.
What I like too is that I think it was in our Patreon page, or it was at least in the Discord. We had a recommendation of that game. I'm like, oh, that's an awesome one. Great recommendation. But we talked about it on the episode, but I don't want to be like poking at him like, well, just listen to us, guy. Like, because again, it's content. Like we're just having a good time. And it's an interesting thing to think about, like when like gaming's so expensive. Cause like I didn't wake up super early in the morning to pre-order the Switch 2. I have the money, I could do it. Like it's a few $100s. Like I work a full-time job
Yeah.
outside of my fun hobby books and stuff. So I could buy a Switch 2. I just haven't found one. And I'm not like searching for it. I'm not in a hurry. I'm not going to pay scalper prices. I'll buy it at a store when it comes out. I'm not super excited to play a lot of the launch titles. Like obviously the Zeldas will be cool. I'm gonna probably buy them because I buy every Zelda because
Yeah.
I'm a mark for all that shit. But and I would love to play Mario Kart with friends, but like for me by myself, I'm most interested in Donkey Kong, playing the open world Donkey.
Yeah. That's the only game that I'm like, oh, I gotta play it, but it's not a launch title, is it? Like it's coming out.
It's July. And
Yeah.
so by July, if they still don't have Switch 2s, I'll be like, wow, so this system's not going to do too well. Because if you
Yeah.
can't get it in gamers' hands in a month or a month after launch, that's
It'd be like the PS5.
I feel
Yeah.
that PS5, it could turn out to be like a Wii U.
Yeah.
But the pricing isn't necessarily Nintendo's fault. Some of it is tariffs. The other thing is that the pricing isn't super expensive. The game pricing's a little bit dumb.
Yeah.
It's also like everybody's justifying their own way.
Yeah.
It's a wild time.
And at the end of the day, we have honestly just so many games. Because say you were the kind of person like I'm not going to get a Switch 2 to a couple months later. Like I'm looking to get a Switch 2 maybe like September or something like that.
Okay.
But But the thing about it is like, say you want to wait a year before you get the Switch 2, Nintendo's still gonna be putting out Switch games, and there's still tons of stuff to get on Switch. A matter of fact, we've talked about it on previous episodes that now's the time to probably get into Switch because people are going to be starting to sell stuff, trying to make money to get the new console. So maybe you can go to a flea market or something and someone's selling some Switch games. Oh, there's some indie games in there, you never know. So,
Well, and like I even stopped collecting physical Switch games a few years back because I moved too much and I can't do the pre-orders because if I do the pre-order, some of the stuff
yeah.
I moved 2 times since I pre-ordered a game before I actually got it shipped to me. And so I'm like, dude, I don't live there anymore, and the forwarding stopped because I had moved 2 years ago, guy. And so I like email them, and sometimes they're like, oh, sorry, we can't change it. And I'm like, you have to change it because I don't live there. Like it's the idea of the pre-orders. So I mean, it's a necessary beast because a lot of these companies, even when I ran premium, you are taking pre-orders so that way you can gauge the interest on how many copies you're going to print. And I mean, sometimes it's like, okay, so you got to build the cost for Switch cartridges is expensive. So you're constantly trying to earn money to keep the company going. So it's a wild beast.
Yeah.
But I had multiple people asking me if I still or how premium was going a few times. And I actually had some people throwing shade at premium, which I didn't realize that I'm still listed as the owner on the website.
Oh.
So I'm like, oh, you're talking about me being a dork. Okay, cool. Like they said basically that premium is trying to be like limited run games, and I'm like,
Yeah.
premium was never limited. When I ran it, premium was never a limited company. I didn't do it as a limited company. I did it as I will print games as long as people want them.
Right.
I don't care about FOMO. I care about having people play the developers' games. That was my thing. And I will make the best, coolest shit possible because that's what I do. I make cool ass shit. So I was the hipster artist of the community. It worked well, but the army said I gotta continue on and I don't have the time to run it, so I sold the company.
Yeah.
I'm still gonna do my fun art shit on the side, my fun books. I gotta make about 5 commission art pieces. So I mean, but that's the thing though, is that the game it isn't expensive, Xander. It's
Yeah.
just and then you complicate things by we give you on the Indecredible podcast a million games. Like every week you get a half dozen at least games to check out. And I like retro games. I like a Contra right here. I like retro games and go back and play those. And
Yeah.
don't have the
Yeah.
time. So it's the other game I played this week, which is a throwback to a couple episodes actually, is I played and beat 100 Pumpkins too.
Oh, nice. How was that?
So I played it. And I remember the last time we chatted about it on the episode, I played a little bit, and it was like the NES version of 100 Pumpkins. I just booted it back up after playing some Archaeogem and played through it and loved it. And it's basically just like you just wander around, figure out the puzzle on every level to get the pumpkin. Because 100 screens have a pumpkin.
Yeah.
And like it was cool. There was no super challenging portions, and you just went through. Now to get the good ending, you can only die like 5 times. I died 270. So like I was just fucking around. Um, the other thing that I did fire up, which what was the name of it? I fired up the game that I was playing on the randomizer the week prior, Phaland.
Oh, yeah.
Wandered around naked after I fell down. I still couldn't figure out where to go. I was looking. I searched around again. I tried. As I said on last episode, I was gonna try to do it again, and I could not find my way through. So a little obtuse, and I still like I just play it, and I'm like, I can't find it. I could go on my phone and look it up, but
Yeah.
sometimes with these indie games, you can't go on your phone and look it up because it's too indie. Nobody's
Yeah.
covered. But I didn't even look because I'm like, I'm just gonna continue to go to the next thing as we got too much going on, too much craziness.
Yeah, for me, I kind of going back to a couple episodes. It was a game that was over the horizon or on the horizon, and it was Pool Stay. I played the demo to Pool Stay. A very interesting game. It is a tower defense game, but it's like built in like this quirky, like Japanese kind of way. And it's just so it's so bizarre because you're helping out like this dude that's in his the first level. You're helping out this guy that's like on his computer. He's like in his dorm or like a taku kind of apartment. It's got like figurines everywhere, and there's like these like yakuza guys that are like trying to get to him to beat him up. I guess he owed money or something. So you're like trying to get to the guy before they do and beat him up and stuff. But while this is all going on, say what?
Acid trip.
Yeah, because the whole time this is going on, there's like weird stuff happening, and the game has like it took me a while because I was like, is this game like not playing well on my PC? No, it's playing well on my PC. It just plays like a clunky old third person, Dreamcast or PlayStation game. Like, because it has to take controls and all that stuff. It's fun. It was a lot of fun. I think it's like $15 right now. I think it's worth it because I saw some of the broadcasting, like the live stream that people were doing. We were like, picking up giant shrimp and hitting people with it and going inside giant mechs. It's bizarre. It's my kind of game.
Did you get to any of the weird random other genres and shit yet, or not yet?
No, no, it was just kind of the demo was just kind of just letting you know it's going to get crazy. So
It'll get crazy
it'll get
eventually.
crazy.
Like, holy shit. Like, that's funny though. So should we move over to On the Horizon?
Yeah, because we got a couple of games to talk about.
What do you want to start with? Do you want to start with the first game, or you want to jump around? Because I gave Xander this week a few to choose from. So this is the Xander Scramble special.
Well, the first one I want to talk about is the one I'll go ahead and talk about the one I was most excited to look at, and that
Okay.
was the ASURA the Striker.
Okay. Ashura or is Ashra?
ASURA, I believe. ASURA.
Ashura the Striker. Okay. Yeah,
AS.
because
Yeah.
yeah, this game looks cool as hell. It has a lot of kanji or Chinese before it. I think it's
Hmm.
Chinese. I
Yeah,
mean, it
this
was
is
Japanese. It's Japanese kanji, but this is an arcade 3D shooting game, right?
yeah, this is the one that's very, my gosh, I can't remember the old Sega game. Fantasy Zone. Not Fantasy Zone. Oh my gosh, Space Harrier. That's what I was
There
trying
we go.
that's what I was trying to say.
Because I would like to say Strike Blazinger that Chris Tang is working on. He's been working on that game for many a year.
Yeah.
That is based on or inspired by Space Harrier. Well, this game, another one,
Yeah.
inspired by Space Harrier.
It made me think of Space Harrier, and another one was Sin and Punishment. It made me think of Sin and Punishment a little bit from the N64. Really, really cool game.
Oh, this game is beautiful.
It looks so good. So
Dude,
good.
but like it's like 3D World Runner, like that's an NES game, 3D World Runner. Also inspired, fully from the same era as I already forgot the name of it. Space Harrier. There we go. But yeah, no, this game looks awesome. And it's like, because you got those awesome paintings in the background as you're like, and they kind of like move and as you're coming through in 3D, and then everything's coming at you at all times. And the graphics are beautiful. The action is crazy. Like, there is nothing wrong with this game at all from my perspective. It looks perfect.
Yeah, and
And
it's
18
it
bucks.
yep, and it's got a demo, and it's done by the folks at Leftover. It looks like this is the only thing they've worked on. Um,
Okay. Okay.
but it looks great.
Dude. Yeah, because like it's just there's slow motion powers too, which is nice. So
Yeah.
so when you get overwhelmed, you can like do the thing and like weave out of the way of the enemies. This would be one that'd be awesome to play in a barcade.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Dude. That's the kind of things where I'm like, man, how cool would it be to have that up on a giant ass screen to play with friends? It's like, because I play a lot of my indie games on this thing, so I'm playing.
Yeah.
Oh, this is cool, but like playing on a giant ass screen, that would be so dope. That's the something I need to freaking figure out. I think is just how to easily play on the big screen.
You know what you could do? You get because they've really upped the technology. You get like a little projector screen.
Oh,
All you need
interesting.
is like a nice white sheet. Boom, put it on the wall. Like boom. That'd be
That'd be dope.
they've really upped the ante with those projector screens. Like I remember when they first came out, they were a little iffy, but they have something
Yeah.
like really affordable that at least put out like 1080 now, which is
Mm.
crazy. Like really high definition.
It's wild.
Speaking of high definition,
Oh,
this game
speaking
right
of high definition.
this game right here is a little cozy game that I was like, this is a game I would get lost in and have a lot of fun. But Leafing Home.
Leafing, not leaving everyone, leafing home. Dude, I add some random stuff every week. But they all have to be like meet that threshold of looking like impressive. And it seemed like this week there was a couple of cool 3D platforming style games. This one, it's in there, man.
Yeah, it's a 3D platformer. It looks almost like an exploration kind of like cozy game. So think of like a 3D Zelda or something like that, a game that you're kind of just wandering around. It has that exploration to it. It says fight challenges and mini games and like meet new friends. So there's a lot to unpack with this game, and it's currently 14.99.
On sale.
Another, yeah, yeah, you're right. Because it's normally 19.99, but it's 25% cent off. There isn't a demo, unfortunately, but still not too bad.
If you look at it, you're playing as a squirrel. So
Yeah,
it's
it's
almost like
nuts.
it's like nice Conker's Bad Fur Day. It's like Conker's Bad Fur Day with all the swearing and poop.
Oh my gosh. Hold on. Before we get into the next game, I do have a funny story about Conker's Bad Fur Day.
Well,
Um,
and looking at this though, like on Leafing Home, there's a bunch of like talking like you do in Conker's Bad Fur Day, but also he has a little freaking sail like Zelda.
yeah, yeah.
Like, so you actually got your little sail so you can move around. Like I see him floating. So it would just be interesting to see how cool it is. And there's like little bonus games it looks like too. I don't
Little mini
know.
games.
Yeah, so be cool. So what's your Conquer obscenity game, Sam?
So like my nephew, my nephew was like 3 years old. I was already getting him into video games. Like I taught him how to play Super Mario Brothers. What he really liked to play when he was like really little is he loved to watch Let's Plays.
Mm,
Like, so we would let him watch Let's Plays on YouTube with like no commentary, just the video
mm.
games, and he would just sit there and just watch them. Well, one day he was watching it, and I like looked over and I like tell my brother-in-law, I'm like, hey, look, I'm like Michael's over there watching Conker's Bad Fur Day, and I'm like, oh shit, because yeah. I was like, I don't want a 5-year-old seeing Conker's Bad Fur Day. It's adorable, but not for a 5-year-old. Good times, good times.
Insane. That's why the 5-year-old's probably now a teenager and all messed up, all jacked up. Yeah.
Now, this game right here, I was kind of confused at first because I thought it was another game, but it's not. It's this game right here is a Lumos or Lumos.
Lumos. Okay. So is this one of those where it has a name similar to something else you thought called Lumo?
Yeah, yeah, which I've played
Yeah.
Lumo. I love Lumo.
Yeah, Lumo is like a platform. I think it's like a little magician thing, and it has a Switch physical. Lumos, different game. And so that's what's crazy about indie games is a lot of these titles are so similar that you're like, oh, I've played Lumos. And it's like, no, Lumos is a brand new game released in April 2025. Like, and it's a crazy looking action adventure puzzle platformer.
It's got a
Like,
very bright like aesthetic to it. Like the colors are all there. You play as this like little dude that I
wow.
immediately wanted a plush of. I'm like, he looks cool. I like him. Um Yeah, it's currently on sale as we're recording. It's 40% off, so you're paying less than $5 for it.
Yeah.
If you caught this episode a little afterwards, it's still less than $10. It's like an $8 game.
Yes.
Um, let's see. Not a whole lot of reviews on it yet. Not a whole lot of people have played it, but it had just came out.
And the other thing is like even the about the game, because like when you go to about the game in Steam, that's where the developers could show off all the different portions of it. And it just has a couple paragraphs of text, no pictures. But some of the fancier and even in the indie games, they'll have like little gifs or little stuff going on. This is a very basic one, so this is might be one of the seems like it would be a first project from this developer, and it is
It
the only
is.
thing that they have listed. So, but it looks really impressive. Um, it's called to be a short, cute adventure filled with wonder and light.
We do have one Steam review,
Uh,
and they gave it a 10 out of 10. They said an enjoyable, fun, and cute game. 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. I'll buy that for $1.
Or 5.
Yeah.
Dude, do you want to check out the next game, Ninja Ming?
Oh yes, this looked like a lot of fun.
Dude, I saw this and immediately thought like, um, oh, it's like the Shadow of the Ninja remake and all that stuff. And
Mhm.
also the Messenger. It really does have Messenger looking aesthetics with the art on the thing. But this is a precision platformer. So 100% like Super Meat Boy. Another one very Celeste looking
Yeah.
from it. And the character has a white outline, which is always interesting because, from my perspective, when I see something that has a white outline or a neon outline, I think Game Boy Advance.
Yeah, especially
Yeah.
like a Harmony of Dissonance for sure, like
Well,
Castlevania.
because and they didn't do that, everybody, because they liked the aesthetic or they wanted to stand out. They did it because the Game Boy Advance was not backlit.
Yeah.
So so you could see the actual characters without having it in the sun in an appropriate degree. You'd be able to see the graphics because the screens are darker. Whereas when you're playing normal games nowadays, like this is a design choice by the game
Yeah,
to do this.
this is like an aesthetic like throwback, being like, oh man, I loved playing Castlevania Harmony of Dissonance. I kind of like the way the dude was kind of highlighted. What I really like about this game too is I love the dash mechanic. I,
Oh,
I, I there's like this zip kind of mechanic that when you're doing the precision like platforming, I really like that because I feel like that would just add like that certain kind of rhythm. I love with platforming and something that would be very challenging that make you go like, I need to play one more level. And then you try this one more time. I got this.
well, this is the big game. But what I didn't know, which I'm finding out right now, is that there's a game called Ninja Ming Wu that is a mini 2D puzzle platform that's $2 that they released a few months before they did the main game. And so that one looks more like basic like NES style.
Oh.
Whereas, yeah, so it looks pretty cool. It's a little tiny one. It looks cool as hell. So Ninja Ming and Ninja Ming Wu, those are the only two games that the developer has created. One POSS studio, one POS studio.
Mm. And it looks like it's got the game has 8 chapters and 241 levels.
And Ninja Ming.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's
yeah, so I
crazy.
definitely need to get Ninja Ming and Ninja Ming Wu.
Woohoo.
Woohoo! Yeah, no, it looks cool. Looks cool. Looks cool as shit, though. No, I just like the aesthetics. It does remind me of going through the beginning portions of the Messenger before it turns into the Metroidvania, which I enjoyed that part. So it looks like you're like throwing your um, ninja knife, sword, whatever you call that, the ninja knife, to teleport, and you teleport to it. So you toss it,
Yeah.
teleport to it.
That looks really cool. That's what I was noticing. I'm like, man, that looks fun. That could add some like nice rhythm to the platforming.
Exactly. Exactly. All right, so we're gonna do one more game, or are we good?
We'll do one more game because this game is like polar opposite of what we were just talking about. Because we were just talking about all these like cutesy, retro, blah, blah, blah. This was Coral and the Abyss, and this looks insane. This it looks freaking cool. I really like the aesthetic to it. It's another cheap game as well. Um, it's got a demo. It's like normally $7.99. It's on sale for $6.39.
And do you know what this game reminds me of, Xander?
What's that?
Hyper Light Drifter.
Yeah, I can see that now because it's that top-down hack and slash.
It's
Yeah.
it's top down, and there's a lot of like pinks and purples and light blues, like the
Mhm.
color aesthetic too. It says it's an exploration Metroidvania with combat, and I mean it was released recently, but it just looks cool as hell. I added it because I'm like, dude, this looks wild. The character though looks crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, the character almost looks like a monster within itself, like a boss that you would fight. You play as this really weird, lanky character that just like it, it's funny because the character you play as, there's not that many frames of animation that he moves around. And I think that's what makes it kind of slightly unsettling when I was watching it. I'm like, he moves really weird. But yeah, this game looks cool. I like it.
Oh yeah. Well, and it's interesting is there's another game by this developer and it's called Inside the Crystal Mountain and it has the same type of aesthetic. And the one of the characters in the art looks like the character from this other game. So they might be creating games within the same world. Um,
Uh,
and the first one, but what I like about this, the game we were just talking about, which is Coral and the Abyss, is that your swing of your sword is huge. You have a huge radius. Yeah, so because this other one has Souls-like elements and it's an action adventure Souls-like dungeon crawler, but it has the same type of big ass characters. And that one is on sale right now for 79 cents.
wow, less than $1.
Add in two carts, people. Because anything
Yeah.
under, honestly, if anything's under $2, that's an auto buy for me.
Oh yeah.
So, like, I will be buying this live on the recording, everyone. Hopefully, you all get oh, it's not signed in on this stupid tablet. But hopefully, you're able to get it for 79 cents because that is
And by
crazy.
for some reason you missed out and didn't get it for 79 cents. There is a demo, so you can play the demo as well.
That's 79-cent deb.
But you know,
Upped over
I
to my store.
now I'm looking over at the Crystal Mountain. This one looks more almost like like not survivor like, but it looks like there's just so many enemies coming at you, man. Like this one looks intense.
Dude, that's awesome though. Because
Uh,
like,
Yeah, this one like every time you try again reborn from where you started. So this is a roguelike. Okay. Heck yeah.
I like
Added.
the rope.
Added.
Added. View my cart. I have to do it on my Steam Deck because this thing. Let's see if I could just buy it here on live on the podcast. There we go. Done.
Live purchase.
That is how hard it is to buy something on Steam. It's already bought. 79 cents, people. Gotta buy it. But that's the thing though, is I'm gonna play this inside the Crystal Mountain to test whether the other game, Coral and the Abyss, is a good game. And then so if I play this one and they're in the same world, that'd be pretty dope to see how
That
they
would be
work
cool.
out.
That would be
Pretty
cool.
dope, man.
Now, since you already have your Steam Deck out, I know you just bought a game, but since you have your Steam Deck out, I think we need to run. I think we need to run the randomizer.
Run the randomizer. All right. Are we doing any genre, Xander, or are we just gonna random the shit out of it?
Just random the shit out of it.
All right. So, the game that popped up is called Enchanted Portals.
Huh.
Enchanted Portals. It says from How Long to Beat, because it's automatically in here. How Long to Beat says 3.9 hours. And then the game is, let's see, it looks like graphics look like it's coming from like a Cuphead. So that will be a fun one to play. I'm going to play Enchanted Portals.
Yeah, while you're saying this, I'm actually buying Inside the Crystal Mountain right now.
Heck yeah, you are. Yeah, I'm just pressing play on Enchanted Portal so it pops up to the front of my list on my Steam Deck. Because otherwise, if I just close out of that, it'll like randomize back to. I'll have to remember, hey, what did we talk about? Because I didn't write it in my show notes yet. Because I'm slow. It's as a download content stuff to load games though. Enchanted Portals though is going to be the randomized game for next week. What I like about the randomizer too is it gets me to actually play something before I get sidetracked. Oh
Yeah. Yeah. Speaking of being sidetracked, because you got a lot of stuff to do. You got a lot of stuff you're doing right now. Well, what have you been up to, Jeff, other than the complete SNES pocket guide that I have right here?
Xander Blur.
No, I've been really enjoying this book, by the way. I've been, like I said in the last episode, I've been going through my Super Nintendo like emulators and just randomizing that and just going through the Super Nintendo catalog, you know.
By the time this airs, the Super Nintendo Kickstarter will likely be ended, but there should be late backers on there. So if you go to the link on Kickstarter for the complete SNES, as long as there's copies left, because I think at the time of this recording, there's like 10 to 15 copies of the Super Nintendo, the hardcover. There'll be the pocket guides, of course. But there's like 10 to 15 left, I think, of the actual book. And so as long as there's copies left, and then also almost all the commissions, because the little pixel art characters, all 5 of those are sold out that I'm making. And I think one of the 2 canvases was commissioned. So I still have 1 more of those left at the time of this recording. But I don't like over promote or, do a bunch of promotions with my Kickstarters. It's more like the beginning, I'll let everybody know it's there. Next week, it'll be the last week. I'll do another, like, let everybody know, hey, it's gonna end in a week. And that's about all I do, because like it's like almost at the final stretch goal.
Yeah.
Like it's because I think it's like 5 times what I asked or something, and I'm like, I'm gonna do a coin, which I think would be dope. So I'll do a Super Nintendo coin. And so I already did the sticker, and then it's I'm gonna do a bookmark, and like a cool ass bookmark, and then I'll do a coin, and I just toss it all in with the stuff. So I have to order the bookmarks next, and then I gotta make if it gets to 10K, or I think it's 10K is what it is, which is like ridiculous, because all I needed was two to make the 2 to print the actual dust sleeves. So it wasn't bad. But it's gonna be fun as hell though, and I just enjoy it, and I'll be working on more art just for me, like while I do it. The other thing is that I use my Plex server a lot, which is a way to view your own media. Well, Plex has updated all the apps this week, and now it runs like super streamlined, like Netflix or Disney, and it's awesome.
Wow.
Because before I would like watch, like, say I'm gonna watch an old pro wrestling thing that I have on my hard drive, I would click it and it's like buffering and do all the crap, and now I hit it and it just goes and it plays perfectly. And I don't know if they optimized the code, the streaming code or something, but like it's like flawless now. What I like though is that I can also hit randomizer in all of my files and watch a random movie, and I could sort it by things I haven't watched. So, like, because I can like go to each of the movies, and if I've watched them before, I can say, "Hey, I have watched it," and then I can just go randomize stuff unwatched, and it shows a list of, like, it just randomizes the list and goes, "Okay, so this is what I'm gonna watch today." I can do it by genre or whatever, and then the music is cool because there's a Plex amp, and so I can do randomizer on my 6,000 plus albums I have. Because I have some 1,000 plus albums, and I could literally randomize and just listen to some amazing music. And so, yeah, it's like when I say I'm always doing stuff, I'm pretty crazy having fun. And I also came up with another idea for a 5th book that I'll be working on at the same time as my other books. So,
Jeez. And the best way to stay in the date up to date with this, folks, is to check out the Patreon. It's free to join. We do have or Jeff does have some backers that we want to thank.
executive producers.
Yes.
Akriloth is one, always.
Yes. And David Isherwood.
Yep. Then we have the disgruntled gamer, aka Lunchbox from Thunder Dome Gaming Society.
And as always, Jesse Glenn for his support.
And we do have other tiers that are under executive producer, obviously, because the executive producers do get at the end of the year. I'm going to be doing an exclusive wooden book cover that only they're getting. Like, I'm not putting them up online, nothing. That's just going to be for the executive producers. And so if somebody joins like the month before I make them, like, obviously they're going to have to do a year's worth of support on Patreon to earn the actual thing. But there are tiers underneath it, and I have been working on a repository of my digital copies of my books. There is a digital section, and you get access to everything I upload. Last week, I quietly uploaded the complete Genesis. The complete Genesis is up there, and all you do is it's less than a cup of coffee. You get access to all of them. So I'm going to upload the next one. I'm going to upload is the complete SNES, which is based on the Kickstarter, and you can go on there for digital. But there is actually something fun as we get to the end of the episode here that happened that I didn't realize. So there are 2 books, Xander, that I've released probably at this point about 6 to 7 years ago that I do not have any digital version of.
Huh.
And when I went to upload the old files, because I build it in like industry standard Adobe InDesign, the finalized book did not open, and because it changed versions on me.
Oh,
So there are 2 books that are out of print, and one I still have a few copies online. So the complete Virtual Boy book, once that sells out, there's no digital, there's no extra copies. I can't reprint it because I'm not going to redo the entire book. And the other one is the Walter Day's Gaming Superstars book that I made with Todd Freeman like many years ago. I wasn't going to reprint that one because I made that for Walter and just gave it to him.
Yeah.
But yeah, those 2 books, like, because I went through my entire backlog of 20 plus unique releases, and the Virtual Boy book is nowhere to be found. So yeah. That is a fun one, man. That book is
that one was one that just came out of nowhere, right? Like that, like people just are like, "Hey, why don't you do that?" And you're like, "Okay."
it was crazier than that. It was an April Fool's joke, and then everybody said they wanted me to do it.
Like, all right, let's go.
Freaking wild, man.
You got to play Waterworld.
Play Waterworld, man. Damn. But I'd say that puts a bow on this episode, Sam.
Indeed, indeed. And as always, guys, I want to thank you guys for listening. And as always, support indie.
Indeed, indeed.
Indeed, indeed.